Hello and welcome to a show guaranteed to get you all aflutter. My guests today are part of the boy band phenomenon that had 18 top 10s and sold 20 million albums worldwide. We certainly love them for a reason. It's Ronan Keating and Duffy from Boyzone. Yahoo! And we're getting passionate later with a new way to add a bit of sparkle to a woman's outfit. It's called vajazzling, and if you don't know what that is, you'll have to keep watching to find out. It is a real eye-opener and it might just make your eyes water. And of course, Ben's here too.
Yeah, I've known the boys for years and years and years, and I'll be asking them some very, very tricky questions.
So they started out as whippersnapper teens in a boy band created by Louis Walsh in 1993. Their first hit, already an Osmond triumph, I'm old enough to remember it the first time round, got them on the road to fame.
Take your heart away. Lovely vocal.
Gentlemen, welcome. Do you love that? Do you love listening to that?
Thank you very much. Well, it's a great video. Raining inside as well.
Yeah, it happens a lot in Ireland.
It's a real Paddy thing. Just come over. It's good.
Yeah. I thought you were going to dab a tear away from the corner of your eye at that there.
That was kind of our first real big budget video, actually. And that was our first #1, which was the second album. So we didn't even have a #1 on the first album.
What, Father and Son wasn't #1?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, wow.
It was #2 at Christmas
what
time.
What did you two think when first you saw one another? Leave the rest of them out, just each other.
Well, I remember being at the auditions back in '93, and I was the youngest. You know, most of the lads, like Colin Farrell was there, and, you know, there was loads of, well-known Irish people, actually. Yeah. Well, they became well-known afterwards. But I remember seeing...
successful. You get in the band and you have no success. See what happens when you don't.
But I remember seeing him, he had like a bandana on his head, and he looked, you know, Duster always looked well, you know, he was always tanned. And I was this skinny little white Irish kid, you know. I thought, I'm never going to get in the band. And I remember walking in and Shane was there, and Shane was kind of Shane's concept, putting the band together. And Shane always just looked deadly. He looked like a pop star from the get-go. So I thought, definitely I won't get in the band. But I did, thank God.
Yeah, he had those dodgy photographs of Louis. So Louis had no choice but to put him in the band.
That's right.
Put me in the band, or these are going public.
What did you think when you first saw him? I bet when you first heard him, that's when you're...
Well, we were very young and impressionable at the time, you know. And obviously, you're walking into a situation where you're auditioning for the same job. You've never met each other before, so you know you have the whole kind of. Camaraderie, is that the word I'm looking for?
For you to say.
Yes, thank you. And I think we were all trying to impress each other, and we were all trying to, you know, I suppose it's like your first day at school. Everybody's trying to make a name for themselves, and really we were terrified. Really, we were absolutely terrified, you know.
How long did it take to feel as if you really could do this, and not only that people would take you seriously doing it?
I think it was when we... Remember the Smash Hits tours and shows? Yes. Well, it was definitely the Smash Hits tour when we went on the road and we won that, what they call the show on the road.
Yeah.
You did it. You were on the road. Yeah, remember that? Battle of the Bands.
We didn't win, unfortunately.
Yeah, but that was kind of a big deal for us, and then we knew we were going somewhere.
Okay, let me ask you then, what was the opinion of all the other people in the music business at the time of them? Truthfully.
I think incredibly nice guys. It was hard because there was Take That coexisting at that time, so no one thought in the very beginning that there could be another band to coexist alongside them, and Boyzone proved absolutely everyone wrong.
We didn't actually. Take That broke up, and then we became successful. It took a while.
No, because your first Love Me For A Reason winning at like number...
Two.
Two.
Yeah, E17 kept us off #1 for Christmas with Stay.
Oh, right, OK.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was our second album before we had a proper hit, and then things started to really happen for us. And then, you know, you always move the goalpost back. It was the first Top of the Pops. We couldn't wait to be on Top of the Pops. Yeah. That was our first cover of a magazine, and you just keep pushing back, you know, pushing the goalposts further and further. And then #1 single, and we had #1 albums, and then we started to travel and, you know, see the world and you know,
I know something about your travelling and seeing the world, because when I shared a house with this gentleman in 2001 in the Big Brother house, the very first ever celebrity Big Brother, he did tell an amazing story about Luciano Pavarotti. Would you mind?
That is the best story.
That's my favourite story of all time. Would you mind?
Which one now? That? Because there's a couple of Luciano stories.
I think the permissible one.
Well, the best one is we were honoured to be able to go to Modena and sing with Pavarotti at the big show Pavarotti and Friends. And Duster's there, and he's going around all day, and he says, Ro, I know we're here singing with this Pavarotti dude, but who's the Luciano bloke they keep talking about? And then...
Well, I remember we were hungover because we just finished touring.
That's not like us.
I know. But basically, he sent his jet to pick us up to bring us over, and everybody was so hungover. We didn't need to be there that day. We didn't need to be there till the following day, but just to be safe, they wanted us there that day, and we were aware of that. So the jet arrived in, and the lads decided, oh no, that jet doesn't look safe. We can't get on that. No, we'll have to go tomorrow. OK, I'll see you later, lads. I'm going off back to bed.
That's basically what we did.
But I said, that plane is going to where I need to be, so I got on the plane and I went ahead.
You was the only one who went on the plane?
I went and sound-checked with Pavo on my own. He was a little bit intimidated, but I calmed his nerves, it was fine. But backstage was all tented areas for the different dressing rooms, and there was everybody from Mariah Carey, Joe Cocker, Lionel Richie, Ricky Martin. Everybody was on the same bill. And we were wearing white suits, and we were lying in our dressing room on the floor, really kind of hungover. And this knock would come on the door, and the door would open, and it was, this is Luciano's PA, so I'd have to get up off the floor. Hello, how are you? Back on the floor, knock on the door. This is Luciano's wife. Hello, how are you? Back on the floor. And I just said, hey, lads, who the hell is this Luciano bloke? I was dead serious. They thought I was joking. I said, I'm not messing. I thought his name was like Pavarotti Duffy or Pavarotti Keating. I didn't realise Pavarotti was his second name.
And then another brilliant one was we were walking to the stage, and there was a poster with the billing on it, who was performing, and I think Michael Jackson was on it, and Mariah Carey and everyone. And Duster goes, isn't it amazing? We're headlining. We're right at the top. I said, Duster, it's in alphabetical order.
We've made it now.
That story about the birthday cake, I don't know if that dares to be repeated or not, that birthday, because the stories always are you lot. You're the kind of rascally scamps in the background.
Andrew Lloyd Webber's 50, was it his 40th or 50th?
50th at the Albert Hall.
And we robbed the cake.
Yeah.
They robbed the cake.
And now they're a minute on national TV.
I know.
One day they will make a movie about Boyzone when we're all dead and gone, because we cannot be alive when it happens. But it will be a legendary film.
The thing that's amazing, though, is hearing you tell the tales and hearing the amazing success, and it was soar away, roar away, incredible success. It's even more amazing that you split, isn't it? Yeah,
I mean, it was something we all decided we wanted to do back in 2000. But we wanted to take a break, but the break turned into a break-up. And, I mean, it was a tough time for some of us in the band, and some people wanted to get back together, some people didn't, and one thing led to another, and sadly it was 8 years later, or 7 years later, when we actually got back together then.
Yeah, but I mean, I think everything happens for a reason.
We were lucky enough to be there at the very first reunion of your second stab at life together on the road and all that. And it was almost like a heavenly kind of thing. You were all thanking God, blessing everyone, blessing the audience.
We just couldn't believe the look.
It was like a second grab, wasn't it, at life?
We couldn't believe we had this opportunity again.
And am I right in saying the most excited of the whole lot was Steve?
Oh, totally.
He was beside himself,
without
wasn't
a doubt. And thank God it did happen. Thank God we had those 3 years with him closely, like we were before obviously the tragedy of his passing, because now they're the memories that we have, and he was a very, very, very happy guy when he passed. Do you know what I mean? And we know that. We're sure we're certain of that.
He was fizzing with excitement.
I mean, he was like an energizer bunny. Is that what you call
it? Like a little bunny, yeah.
He was.
He's like a Durex bunny.
I think if people hadn't seen Stephen doing If You Like It, Then You Should Have Put a Ring on It, Then You Haven't Lived. That was the most amazing thing.
We actually, we've got the tour coming up. We're on tour on the 21st. We open in Liverpool, and we're in rehearsals at the moment. And we attempted, out of a little kind of a tribute to Stio, we attempted to take on Single Ladies.
Yeah.
Just to do the dance.
We couldn't get it together at all. And it just showed us, his passion, his energy, his ability.
I can't imagine Shane.
He tried it.
He tried it.
Yeah. It was funny, but we used to love Steve because he did work so hard. He was dedicated. Yeah. You think when he was on stage doing that, that was our time off. We were backstage having a cup of tea, relaxing. I
always thought, as far as bands go, though, I always thought that you guys were like the perfect group. You know
what? We're kind of not, and that's why we're actually a dysfunctional family. That's what we're like. But we love each other. We've got so much love for each other,
Yeah. Except for one fella.
A little look now. I love is like a hurricane.
Oh, brilliant.
Which Ben sings in the shower, may I say, because he likes it.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, little look at that.
It's back. Your love is like a hurricane. When you're with me, I'm on track. We're riding on a crazy train. I'll be fine if you're mine.
At the end of the line. We like it.
Never heard it sounding so well.
It's actually great because, you know, this tour, it's the first time we're going to get to perform all these new songs from the Brother album. You know, Too Late for Hallelujah, Love is a Hurricane, Walls. They're just great songs. And, you know, it took a long time for Boyzone to put an album like this together. And we're very proud of it. And, you know, Stephen's on that album too. Actually, during the show, we've got a kind of a little section in the show where Stephen's images are going to be projected onto the screen, and he's actually going to be singing some of the songs with us on stage. So it's going to be quite powerful, some of these songs.
Fantastic. Coming up after the break, Ronan and Keith is staying with us, and later we'll show you the latest way for women to accessorise, and it's not a necklace and it's not earrings. We're dressing up our below stairs area for jazzling. I can't believe I'm saying this in front of them. My God, I'm so embarrassed. It's for jazzling, as it's known in Essex. Yikes. Ben's interested to see that one. Far too interested for my liking. We'll see you in a minute.